And here's the matter. Story, we're going with this version, cut to the Premium Times, captioned, "How suspected herders attacked me," from Governor Ortom. Now, here's a bit of the story. The Benue State Governor, Samuel Ortom, says gunmen suspected to be herders attacked him on his farm near Tiomu along Makodi-Gboko Highway on Saturday afternoon. He narrated his experience during a press briefing at the Benue People's House in Makodi, the state capital, shortly after the attack. According to Mr. Ortom, he was inspecting the farm when the herders, who were dressed in black outfits, ambushed him and his security personnel. Quote, "You know, today is Saturday and it's normal. As a farmer, I usually go to my farm. So I went to my farm along Boko Road, and on our way back, we started hearing some gunshots, and we discovered people who were dressed in black, and from experience, we now discovered that these are Fulani militia, and I do not want to take things for granted because a few days ago, the media was awash with statements from Macban, who met in Yola, the same place they met in 2016, where they decided that they will take Nigeria and that every other person is a slave. That was when they started infiltrating the entire country." End of quote. He also said his lawyer will write a petition against the leadership of Macban. He also said, quote, "They came out to target me, and behind the scene they are planning to eliminate me at my own land. If I can't go to the farmer's governor with the entire security around me, then who else can go to farm?" You can imagine the pains that we have here in Benue State. Of course, there's been plenty of reaction to this situation. Reacting to the Ortom's allegations, National Secretary of Miyetti Kautal Hoore, Engr.Saleh, said the governor had driven all headsmen in his state away, pondering how they could have attacked him. In an interview with Sunday Point, Saleh stressed that herdsmen had no hands in the attack of the governor's convoy. He said, quote, "Herdsmen cannot attack him. There are even no herdsmen in Benue State because he's driven them away. He's just behaving like a lout, and it's unfortunate that such a person could become a governor. He trivializes everything. The attack is political. They are killing themselves there. There are killers around him. Everybody knows." Well, joining me right now for this conversation as to how this situation is impacting the farmers herders impasse in the country is Engr.Saleh Alhassan, National Secretary, Miyetti Kautal Hoore Fulani Soc-cultural Association, and former SECGEN, National Youth Council of Nigeria. Engr.Saleh Alhassan, good evening to you. You're welcome to Hard Fact.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Dial.
Maybe the most important question I might ask you for this in this conversation, maybe the most, is how is this? How is this? It's an unfortunate situation what happened in Benue State, and how is this impacting the situation we already have on our hands with the farmers herders crisis across the country? Because no doubt this is not helping, but you obviously are more directly impacted and involved than I am, I suppose. What's the impact of this development on the brewing problem and crisis we already have in our hands?
I think it fits into the narratives of those that want to see that there is a sustained conflict, a perceived conflict between farmers and herders. But in reality, there is no conflict between farmers and herders. But you have bandits that are operating in the rural areas, in the forest. And you have general breakdown of rural security. So that is on one side. But on the issue of His Excellency Governor Ortom's assertion that he was attacked by herdsmen who are dressed in black, so I wonder which kind of instrument he used to know who his attackers are, and where his security is, where his bulletproof cars, and what took him to that. Before a governor can go to his farm, I expect that his security should have advanced intelligence surveillance, having claimed some few days back some people somewhere are planning to attack him. You see, from our intelligence investigation, that particular area Ortom went to, there was crisis, and the communities there were displaced because of infighting, and now the governor has bought that land for himself. That Umbalon land, where he claimed to have been attacked, he bought that land because there was crisis. A crisis was instigated, so all the inhabitants were displaced in that place. In fact, in the last 10 years, herders have not been in that area, even before he brought his anti-grazing law, because that area is on your way from Makodi to Boku. So it's not near any Nasarawa border or Taraba border. It's right at the heart of the Tivland. So with the anti-grazing law in place, where will a herder follow to go there? And if you claim you are attacked and you say it's Fulani herdsmen, why don't you engage? Why don't your security engage them so that we can get evidence? So we know he is into propaganda. He specializes in it. He survives politically by always parroting herdsmen propaganda. That is why even the so-called Fulani nationality movement, it doesn't exist.
We'll come to that. We'll come to the Fulani national movement in a moment. But you said just now that there's no conflict between farmers and herders. There has been repeated conflicts between farmers and herders. I mean, they have. It sounds like you might be trivializing the experiences of several farmers in the country who said that their crops are being destroyed by cattle, who claim that herders kidnap their women, rape their women, destroy their houses, destroy their farmlands. Are you saying that these things are the imaginations of these farmers?
This is a grand propaganda crafted. Go where are the cases in the various courts? We have traditional herders farmers conflicts trained into farmland. But this gigantic massive skill that is being painted is not by herders. As acknowledged, there is insecurity, there are bandits, there are criminal elements, but these are not herders. If people claim farms have been destroyed, at least we should have cases in our courts. We have traditional mechanism of settling farmers, herders, but it's not to the scale it is being painted, as if there is an invasion. No. You see, it's all propaganda.
What is this
farms that have been destroyed?
What is this propaganda? What is this propaganda aimed at?
It's aimed at it's a political motive. By the time because they see the president having a Fulani background, they think if they magnify this herders farmers crisis, they are going to get a political value out of the crisis. It's politically motivated. All of a sudden, as if there is an army of invasion, it's not. And it's not coming from the security agencies, from non-state actors, from politicians. Go to any of these local governments, go and ask for the first DPO's report of cases of farmer herders clashes. You won't find anything. These states are controlled by the governors. The police officers, the DPOs, they are not Fulanis. We want to see real cases, real scenarios, so that we can realize there is an invasion. But the fact is that this is largely political propaganda. And it fits clearly into the existing narratives of North-South dichotomy, Islam, Christian dichotomies. And also, it's a perfect way for governors that want to loot treasuries using security votes. You have insecurity. You can't say the insecurity in the Northwest where you have bandits and killers in the forest. They are not herdsmen. Those are bandits. So if you say farmer herder class, it's a tradition. It has been there for years. And there are mechanisms both through traditional rulers, through the local courts, how to settle it. People should go and say, I have these sectors of land that have been destroyed. You won't find it.
Let's go over to the Fulani National Movement now. The story here from Sahara Reporters. We shall assassinate you soon, Fulani militia group tells Ortom Southern Nigerian governors. Now here's a bit of the story. A Fulani group with the name Fulani National Movement, FUNAM, has said it was responsible for the attack on the convoy of Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State on Saturday. I'd like to read part of their statement. They said, just a moment, our attention has been drawn to media reports today speculating about who attacked the governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom. Yes, we did. The Fulani Nationality Movement carried out the attack. We have genuine reasons. We acted on behalf of millions of Fulani people in 15 countries. It's a case of vengeance against an infidel who has used his time and money deployed in destroying the Fulani values and inheritance. Our courageous fighters carried out this historic attack to send a great message to Ortom and his collaborators. Wherever you are, once you are against Fulani long-term interest, we shall get you down. This is a clear warning. We hope those who take us for granted will get the indisputable message. Our intention is unequivocal to kill him. That mission will one day be fulfilled, and very soon too. It goes on and on and on and on. What's your response to this?
Let me tell you our response to this. First, let the security agencies investigate and unmask who are these faithless groups. But from our own findings, this Fulani nationality movement is a creation of Ortom and his government, because it came around the same time they were crafting the anti-grazing law. As you look at all their press releases, very inciting, coincides with one activity of propaganda by Ortom or the other. They don't exist. Our organizations are not faithless. All the Fulani organizations in the African continent, not even in Nigeria, they have their clear leadership. We have their contacts. These ones are faithless. And our take is that it's the same Ortom that specializes in propaganda that is running this group. But I challenge the secretaries to go and fish out this group. They don't exist. We don't have any organization like that within all the Fulani the pastoralist organization we have. Let the security agencies find out. But our take is that the same Governor Ortom is using it to justify his propaganda. If you look at their periodic releases, very inciting, divisive. I think they are working with Nnamdi Kanu to create this kind of destructive scenarios with the hope to balkanize the country. Are you suggesting?
Are you saying that your association is not in support and not aware of this Fulani national movement?
I said the last 4 releases that made were investigated. These people do not exist. They are faithless. We have asked the security agents to investigate them. We have used all our networks. They are not part of us. In fact, no any Fulani man bears those names that we know.
The statement, the most recent.
It's a fifth columnist creation.
The most recent statement.
Creation by people.
The most recent statement was signed by Umar Amir Shehu. Do you have any idea who that person is?
Sometimes they can use Umar Amir Shehu. Sometimes they can use one Badu Ahmadu. They are using those names interchangeably. Our belief, our suspicion, is the same Governor Ortom that created that organization, that faithless organization, just to give credence to his propaganda and lies and hatred and profiling against the Fulani people in this country. Let the security find out. We know how to. If Vanguard News that claim to have interviewed Badu or they should find out now where is he. Can somebody remain faithless? As the Secretary of Miyetti, am I faithless? I have a physical address.
Are you suggesting that there was no attack on the governor of Benue State?
We don't believe there was any attack. If there was any attack, it was his own creation. Because he's now trying to take over a land that was bedeviled by crisis. That parcel of land, he went there. From our findings, the community was in crisis. The government now seized the land. Ortom now bought the land, made it his personal land. So if there was attack, it's the same people that are probably more happening.
Now
you believe there is any attack.
You say that Governor Ortom is creating and spreading propaganda against the Fulanis. What would
his political survival?
What would be his motivation for that? What does he stand to benefit from that?
Yes, because he is a total failure as a governor. He has squandered the state resources, rolling into billions in the name of security votes. There is no single development in the state. He has not paid salaries. He has not paid pensioners for 3 years. Or in fact, for 6 years, they have not paid pensioners. There is nothing for him to show. Have they gone to commission any? That's why we challenge Wiki. At least Ortom have gone to commission projects in Cross River State. Let them come to Benue and commission projects. So we understand his tantrums. He wants to hide his abomination X-Men propaganda. If you say you are being attacked, let us see the evidence. Your security men do not return fire. and he was able to identify the herdsmen that attacked him, it's even too childish.
How do you know that his security did not return fire?
And we want them to talk. Since they were with him, they ran 1.5 kilometers. They should be able to give us actually what happened.
But it's not unlikely that his security detail would have been debriefed by their superiors, and nothing from the security agencies says that the attack did not take place.
So we are waiting for the report. But as far as we are concerned, herdsmen have no hand in whatever claim attack. And that conflict on that land he went to buy and convert it to his own personal land. He should maybe look towards that direction. And don't forget, the state is in political crisis. It's not long they killed the senior brother of the former governor, Suswan, a very popular local politician.
Now, assuming that you're right, and the Benue State Governor Ortom is simply on this personal vendetta against the Fulanis, the narrative that of the herders-farmers clashes and that herders are perpetrating this criminal act is not peculiar or is not synonymous with Benue State only or the Benue State Governor only. We have similar narratives in different parts of the country, especially the southern part of the country as well. Are you suggesting that or across the southern part of the country there is this orchestrated propaganda against Fulanis?
You are very right. You can say that anywhere. The propaganda is even out of proportion. Like I challenge my friends and colleagues in the Southwest, since they started operation against the so-called killer headmen in the forest, have they actually killed any bandit in the forest? Is it not people that are politically motivated?
So who are these criminals? Because you admit that there are bandits, you admit that there are criminals. Who are these bandits?
Well, it's the responsibility of the security. You are in this country, I'm in this country. You know there is no security now in this country. I break down in the forest and the highways. Kidnappers have turned their business into an industry. So yes, you can find in the closet, but there's not of a country. And they are not enjoying protection anymore because everybody has bought into the propaganda.
All right.
And Ortom has made it is a political hallmark as his object of attack. So anytime he raises issue of herdsmen, nobody will ask you, why didn't you pay the workers' salary? Why didn't you pay pension? They want to run away from accountability.
It is hard fact.
Engr.Saleh? All the headers are no longer in Benue. But the problem of underdevelopment, the problem of poverty, unemployment, has he addressed it in Benue?
Engr.Saleh, hold that thought. I have to go for a break now. We'll return shortly. Conversation will continue. And when I return, I'd like for you to answer the question, how then do we resolve this matter? Not the matter of bandits or criminals, because as you said, that's the job of security operatives. But you also admitted earlier on that we do have some traditional skirmishes between herders and farmers. It's been long running for as long as most people can remember. Can we find a lasting solution to it? When I return from the break, you'll be given an answer to that. It is Hard Facts, 91.3 Nigerian for Port Harcourt. My guest, Engr.Saleh Alhassan, National Secretary, Miyetti, Kautal, Hoore, Fulani Soc-cultural Association. We'll return shortly. Do please stay with us.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers.
We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire. Hard facts with Dialogue.
Welcome back. Still has Factor 91.3 Nigeria Info and Heard Hackett. I'm Dio. Discussions continue about 60 minutes ago before 5 p.m. And we're discussing, of course, amongst other things, Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom insisting that Fulani herders attacked him while on a trip to his farm over the weekend. My guest is joining me for this conversation once again, Engr.Saleh Alhassan, National Secretary of the Kautal, Hoore Fulani Soc-cultural Association, who have denied any involvement in what took place or any link to any Fulani militia group, real or imagined. Engineer Alhassan, good evening. You're welcome once again.
Thank you.
So, Back to the question I asked earlier before the break. Now, you admitted that there are bandits, forests, especially in rural areas, and security operatives need to address that. You also did admit that some of them engaged in kidnapping or other criminal acts, maybe of Fulani origin as well, but they are not herders, they are strictly bandits. But you also admitted a while ago that we do have the traditional skirmishes between bandits, between farmers and herders. But we cannot continue with that, no matter how long it's been with us or how traditional we think it is. At some point, we need to transcend that level. Are we doomed to simply continue with what you have termed traditional skirmishes, or are there long-lasting solutions to this situation?
I think we now have a roadmap, the National Livestock Transformation Project. If that plan is implemented faithfully, it will address these issues within the next 2, 3, 5 years. That plan is detailed. It involves creation of ranches across ecosystems that are favorable to ranches creation, development of breeds that will now be suitable for ranching, building the infrastructure around the livestock development, and then activation of already existing grazing reserves, particularly in the northern part of the country, and gradual resettlement of these herders in those grazing reserves, and that is where the ranches will evolve. So if government is seriously and willing to put, so it's not something insurmountable. There is nobody resisting the change. In fact, the herders even want to be settled and also enjoy other benefits of the economy, not just to be sentenced to wandering about. And all the socio-cultural organizations are ready to key into the policies. But the most important thing is that the herders should be also as farmers, and they should enjoy all the benefits that government is according the agricultural sector. And that will address the issues. And then the issues of the insecurity, all citizens should cooperate with the security agencies and expose the criminal elements so that this country can move forward.
Now, you said that the ranches will be predominantly in the north. So what does the south have to do with this?
So the south, they can also have some ranches where they have marginal land, even if not for the purpose of keeping herders there, the livestock that they will sell in the southern market. You know what they do? Most of the livestock you see in the south, the animals you see in the south, are owned by merchants from southern Nigeria. They come to the north, they buy these cows, and then go and graze them for 1, 2, 3 months, targeting peak market periods like the Salah festivities, the Christmas festivities. So they can create also ranches to hold those livestock there. And then where you have traditional herders in the south, like around Oyo State, those that are coming from Shaki, all those, they can create ranches for them and then collect a tax on the ranches. The ranches will belong to the government so that you know the people you are admitting in those ranches, and they pay, like what they do in the U.S. Individuals build the ranches, rent them out, like they rent houses. So if I were Governor Sufam, I would build ranches in Benue and ask the herders to come and rent them.
All right, you said that this ranches should predominantly be in the north. Now, if the ranches are not existing in the north, isn't that an indictment of northern leaders, especially northern governors?
You say it any time. The northern governors are the ones that primarily fail the herders. If they had done the needful, even this crisis will not arise anywhere. Because we had 443 grazing reserves in the north. If they had developed those grazing reserves gradually into ranches or build common facilities like watering points, dams, clinics, all these migrations would have been ended. And then the land is in the north. If you have enough land in the north to accommodate all the herders, but the point is that there are herders that don't know anywhere except where they are in the south. I'm telling you, there are herders in Oyo State, that don't know anywhere in the north. Because their migratory route is between that Oyo, Shaki, Benin Republic, Ghana. That has been their pattern of migration. So those ones you cannot say you want to relocate them to Kano. It's just a question of trying to harness our diversity and make progress. But because we play politics with everything, so the small thing can turn into, because it's not a developmental challenge. We have enough land. All we need is land management policies that will bring sustainable development. Everybody that has need on the land, he can have the land. The land still belongs to the government. I don't think any harder asking for giving me land to own myself, no. Allow me a space to also do my own economy.
All right, Engr.Saleh, join the conversation right now if you will. Line to open 0817-923-0002 or 0003. Also 0817-923-0007. A few calls possibly via WhatsApp on 0809-030-6416. Via WhatsApp, Jesse from Port Harcourt sent this in. Miyetti Allah claims all land in Nigeria belong to them. Please ask your guest to elaborate on this. This is the major cause of the crisis. Is that so, Engr.Saleh? Does Miyetti Allah claim to own all land in Nigeria?
Miyetti Allah cannot, nobody can claim, even the federal government cannot claim all land belong to it. There are clear ways to own a land. Is it through traditional holding, through buying, leasing, or community land? And then what federal government has, the federal government reserves. So I don't think anybody say I own this land, no.
Okay, you've answered that.
What I say is that the need for the Fulani man on the land is just opportunistic. Just to use the resources there if they're available. How can,
Engr.Saleh, you've responded to that. Another question via WhatsApp. Hi, Dio. If the killers ravaging farms and farmers are not the Fulani herders, why are they not attacking the Fulani people as they do other tribes? The Fulani herders get attacked as well by these bandits.
The Fulani herders are the first line of victims of these kidnappers, these bandits. Before any other tribe starts being kidnapped to pay ransom, our people have been paying ransom to these bandits. You can walk into any of the police stations, you find that the records are there. They are the first line of victims. And in fact, most of the prejudice you see of herders moving to the south, they are running from insecurity of Boko Haram, the bandits in the northwest. So what you see there is forced migration. They are forced to leave crisis area. And they are carrying their wealth. So any bandit, any kidnapper, knows that if he kidnaps a Fulani man, he will go and sell cows to free himself. Even Boko Haram have not left them. They have all left like Chad, moving to other places to escape from activities of Boko Haram. So they have been victims.
All right, I'd like to take a call right now. Pardon me, Engr.Saleh. Engr.Saleh, pardon me. Hello, Hard Facts, you're welcome. Hi, good evening, go ahead.
Listening to the conversation. My name is McConnell.
Go ahead, McConnell. Go ahead.
Yeah, what Mr. Saleh is saying, I'm seeing the sense of truth there. Because someone cannot just come and begin to be saying I'm attack. Because there are some key people there who have been in that area, who knows that area very well, can still come and say the truth. But the way the man is speaking is like he's just saying the facts. Nothing but the fact. That's what that man is saying. That is just telling the fact. So that's my comment, sir.
All right, good to hear from me. You can also join the conversation. I might be able to take another call before we wrap it up. All right. Hello, Hard Fact 2, welcome 9013. Hello. Hello, Hard Fact. Good evening.
Hello.
All right. Via WhatsApp. Okay, back to the phone lines. 9013. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's on the discussion. Well, then I know there is no way this man in court will not find enemies to defend his people. I'm a victim of a Fulani header. I'm from Engr State. I live at Uzuan, local government, Adan, in the night 2005-2006. These people will do it farm awful. About 10 plots of rice, contain of rice. These people come at the night and finish up the whole rice. You know, this caused a lot of damage, which leads me to even leave the village, begin coming to Port Harcourt.
Yeah, but hello, caller, hello, sir. I don't mean to stop what you're saying, but my guest, Engr.Saleh, did admit that those things, what you are saying right now, those things do happen.
Okay, he acknowledged it, but
yes, he did.
Okay, why did you not accuse Ortom that is a propaganda? Chief Olufale, who from Yoruba, is it the same propaganda? These people don't want to admit that their people are very ruthless. Let them admit it first.
No, once again, he did admit that some of the herders destroy farmland and destroy crops. He admitted that. I don't know if he caught that part of the conversation, but he did admit it though. Right, let's see. Via WhatsApp, I am still wondering how a governor will come down from a bulletproof car and run on foot to escape. Okay, all right. All right. It baffles me. It befuddles me how the governor ran 1.5 kilometers. Did he also run with his huge security guys? How did he even calculate the distance? I totally believe Engr.Saleh. Ortom is just distracting people from the huge suffering in Benue State. That's from Obina. All right, we got 4 minutes to go. I have to wrap this up shortly. But I think maybe a comment or tweet via something via Twitter. Uzochukwu Kritan tweets. Fulani group claiming responsibility, an attempt to assassinate Ortom. That's a very big disgrace to our security and government of Nigeria. Are supposed to arrest that group so that another group will not do it again. At Seletepe, Peloton 1 tweets around 1.5 kilometers to attempt to escape from the militia bandits. You even remember to calculate the distance covered. The masses have been running from bandits for years. Engr.Saleh, we have to wrap this up now. Any final words from you in about a minute, please?
I think we need to do deep investigative journalism on this herders farmers conflict so that we can have the correct narratives away from these politically soaked narratives that are all over the air.
Is that it?
Yes.
All right, great. And then we wrap up the conversation. Thanks for being a part of it, especially my guest, Engr.Saleh Alhassan, is National Secretary, Miyetti, Kautal, Hoore, Fulani Soc-cultural Association, and former Secretary, National Youth Council of Nigeria. Engr.Saleh, thanks for your time and wish you the very best.
Thank you very much for the national duty.
We've got the news update coming up shortly, top of the hour at 5. After which our return discussions continue. ASU dismisses claims on fresh notice for strike. How did this claim of a strike notice even come about in the first place? Dr. Austin Sado, Chairman ASU at University of Harvard, joins me for that conversation. Do please stay with us.